still in Junior's life. No, I'm in his life through spirit and prayer because his mother has refused to have any contact with me. And she won't have no contact with John unless she have the same kind of contact that he have with Jaden. And I don't think they get along enough like that. And they not. The only reason that John and Jaden can get along like that is because I'm in their business. And because, and that's the God's honest truth. They both know it. Jaden and John get along that because I'm big mama in their business. Callie and her baby daddies get along like this because I'm big mama and I'm in their business. If she not fucking with her baby daddy, I'm fucking with him still. I still go take Carter, call, have Carter call, whatever. Big mama supposed to be in your business for a reason.
Ladies and gentlemen, the internet just got another episode of the never-ending reality show known as the Blueface Chrisean Rock saga. And just when people thought the drama had finally cooled down, someone stepped into the spotlight and threw gasoline on the entire situation. That's someone. Blueface's mother, Karlissa. Now, if you followed this family drama even a little bit, you already know Karlissa doesn't exactly whisper her opinions. When she speaks, the internet doesn't just listen. It grabs popcorn, opens comment sections, and prepares for absolute chaos. Because this time she didn't just drop a casual opinion. She dropped a bombshell claim. According to Karlissa, Chrisean Rock has been blocking Blueface from seeing his own son. And just when people thought that statement alone was explosive enough, she added another twist that sent social media spinning. Like a broken roller coaster, she hinted that Jaden Alexis might somehow be part of the reason behind the situation. Now pause for a second. Because if this story were a TV show, this would be the moment the dramatic music kicks in and the camera zooms in on everyone's shocked faces. We already have Blueface, Chrisean Rock, and years of messy internet history. And now the storyline suddenly drags Jaden Alexis right back into the center of the conversation. Naturally, the internet reacted exactly how you'd expect. Twitter exploded. Instagram comment sections caught fire. TikTok detectives started breaking down the situation like it was a crime documentary. Some people instantly sided with Karlissa, claiming a father should always be able to see his child. Others jumped to Chrisean's defense, arguing that nobody truly knows what's happening behind the scenes. But here's where things get even messier, because the more Karlissa talked, the more questions started appearing. And suddenly the internet wasn't just discussing a family disagreement. To understand why Karlissa's comments hit the internet like a thunderstorm, you have to rewind the story a little. Because the Blueface and Chrisean Rock saga didn't start yesterday. This drama has been unfolding for years like a reality show that refuses to end. Their relationship has always lived on the edge of chaos, from viral fights to emotional live streams. From public breakups to unexpected reconciliations, their story has played out online in front of millions of people. Fans watched every argument, every reunion, and every dramatic twist like they were following the wildest show on television. Then the story took a new turn when Chrisean Rock announced she was pregnant. Suddenly, the conversation changed. The internet went from gossiping about relationship drama to debating something much bigger. People started talking about responsibility, fatherhood, and whether the situation would bring stability or even more chaos. And as expected, the opinions were everywhere. Some fans believed the baby could bring a new chapter into both of their lives. Others predicted that the drama would only grow louder once a child became part of the situation. Unfortunately, the second prediction seemed closer to reality, because even before the baby was born, the internet had already turned the situation into a constant debate. One side believed Chrisean deserved support as a new mother trying to navigate life in the spotlight. Another side argued that Blueface also had a right to be involved as a father. Regardless of the messy relationship history between the two, then came another major twist in the storyline: Blueface's relationship with Jaden Alexis. Now, if you've been following this saga closely, you know Jaden Alexis has always been part of the complicated triangle surrounding Blueface's life. She's the mother of his other children, and her connection to him has often stirred tension online. Every time her name appears in the conversation, The internet immediately prepares for chaos. And that's exactly why Karlissa's recent comments shocked so many people. Because when she suggested that Jaden Alexis might somehow be part of the reason Blueface can't see his son, the internet instantly went into investigation mode. Suddenly, thousands of people began analyzing the situation from every angle. Was Karlissa revealing something serious? Was she simply expressing frustration as a grandmother who wants access to her grandchild? Or was the situation being exaggerated by social media the way internet drama often is? No one could agree. What made the situation even more intense is Karlissa's history of speaking openly about the entire situation. She has never been the quiet observer in this saga. Instead, she often jumps directly into the conversation, sharing her thoughts about the relationships, the arguments, and the constant online drama. And when Karlissa talks, the internet listens. This time, she didn't hold back. In interviews and social media discussions, she hinted that the situation between Chrisean and Blueface had created barriers preventing him from seeing his child. According to her, things were more complicated than the public realized. That statement alone was enough to spark a wildfire online immediately. Bloggers began reposting clips of Karlissa speaking about the situation. Reaction channels uploaded breakdown videos explaining what they thought she meant. TikTok creators began analyzing her comments frame by frame like detectives trying to solve a mystery. Within hours, the entire story was trending again. Fans began arguing across social media platforms about who might be telling the truth. Some believed Karlissa was simply defending her son and expressing frustration about the family situation. Others believed the internet should be careful about jumping to conclusions without knowing the full story behind the scenes. But the debates only made the story bigger. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds where supporters of Chrisean and supporters of Blueface clashed in long paragraphs explaining their opinions. Some users even compared the situation to a reality TV reunion episode where every character finally says what they've been holding back. Meanwhile, gossip pages kept reposting Karlissa's statements. Headlines appeared suggesting that a major family conflict might be unfolding behind closed doors. And once those headlines started circulating, the internet's curiosity went through the roof. Because now people weren't just talking about parenting disagreements. They were asking whether the entire Blueface Chrisean saga had entered its most complicated chapter yet. The presence of Jaden Alexis in the conversation only made things more dramatic. Her name has always carried tension in this storyline, and the moment it appeared again, fans began speculating about possible conflicts behind the scenes. Some believed the situation was simply the result of a complicated family dynamic. Others believed there might be deeper issues the public hadn't seen yet. Meanwhile, the internet kept watching closely because whenever this story appears to calm down, another unexpected twist usually arrives right behind it. And if Karlissa's claims are accurate, the situation between Blueface, Chrisean Rock, and their families might be far more complicated than fans originally believed. But just when people thought Karlissa's comments were the most explosive part of the story, more reactions started appearing. Once Karlissa's comments started circulating online, the internet did what it always does when family drama meets celebrity culture. It turned the situation into a full-blown digital courtroom. Everyone suddenly became a detective, a judge, and a relationship expert all at the same time. Within hours, clips of Karlissa speaking about the situation were everywhere. TikTok creators were reposting her statements with dramatic captions. Instagram gossip pages were highlighting the most controversial parts of her comments. YouTube reaction channels began uploading breakdown videos analyzing every sentence she said. And just like that, the Blueface Chrisean saga had entered another chaotic chapter. Some fans immediately sided with Karlissa. They argued that regardless of how messy the relationship between Blueface and Chrisean has been, a father should always have access to his child. According to them, the situation sounded unfair if Blueface truly wasn't allowed to see his son. those supporters filled comment sections with messages defending Karlissa and Blueface. Many of them claimed that family disputes should never prevent a parent from being involved in their child's life. But on the other side of the internet, Chrisean supporters were not staying quiet. They quickly pushed back against the narrative that Karlissa was presenting. Some fans argued that nobody outside the family actually knows the full story behind the scenes. According to them, the internet should be careful before jumping to conclusions based on one person's perspective. And just like that, social media turned into a battlefield. Thousands of comments appeared under blog posts and reaction videos. Some users were defending Blueface's right to see his son. Others were insisting that Chrisean might have reasons for keeping certain boundaries in place. The arguments stretched across entire threads, with people typing paragraphs longer than a college essay. Meanwhile, another detail from Karlissa's comments continued to spark curiosity. The mention of Jaden Alexis the moment her name entered the conversation. The internet's attention shifted again. Because if there's one thing fans know about the Blueface storyline, it's that Jaden Alexis has always been part of the complicated dynamics surrounding his personal life. She's the mother of his other children, and her relationship history with Blueface has already caused plenty of internet drama in the past. So when Karlissa hinted that Jaden might somehow be connected to the situation, fans started speculating immediately. Was there tension between Chrisean and Jaden behind the scenes? Was Karlissa suggesting that the family dynamics had become so complicated that it affected access to the baby? Or was the internet simply reading too much into a vague statement? No one could agree, but speculation spreads quickly online, especially when the story already contains years of messy history. Suddenly, TikTok creators began posting theory videos trying to explain what might be happening behind the scenes. Some creators compared the situation to a complicated reality show storyline where multiple characters are tangled in one giant emotional plot. Others joked that the Blueface family drama has more plot twists than an entire season of Zeus network shows combined. But behind the jokes, the conversation was growing more serious. People began discussing the larger topic of co-parenting in the public eye. When celebrities have children, their personal disputes often become public debates. Every decision gets analyzed by millions of strangers who only see fragments of the story. And in situations like this, social media rarely agrees on anything. Some fans argued that family matters should stay private instead of becoming public internet debates. Others believed the discussion was inevitable once people involved in the situation began speaking publicly about it. Meanwhile, reaction channels continued uploading new content about the drama. Titles like Karlissa speaks out about Blueface's son and internet reacts to family drama started appearing across YouTube. Comment sections under these videos quickly filled with viewers sharing their own opinions, and the debates kept getting louder. Some people believed Karlissa was simply expressing a grandmother's frustration about not seeing her grandchild. Others believed her statements might have revealed deeper conflicts between the families involved. But the more the internet argued, the more the story spread. Bloggers continued reposting clips from Karlissa's interviews. Gossip pages added dramatic captions suggesting the situation might be more serious than fans originally thought. And once headlines like that start circulating, curiosity spreads like wildfire. Fans began watching every social media account connected to the story. Would Chrisean respond? Would Blueface say anything about this situation? Would Jaden Alexis address the rumors being discussed across the internet? For a moment, the entire timeline felt like it was waiting for the next move in a complicated chess match. Because one thing about this saga has always been true: just when people think the drama has reached its peak, another twist usually appears. And this time, that twist might be coming from someone the internet didn't expect to hear from next. By the time the internet finished arguing about Karlissa's comments, the situation had already grown into something much bigger than a single interview or statement. What started as one person speaking out had now turned into a massive online debate involving thousands of opinions, countless reaction videos, and a timeline that refused to calm down because whenever the Blueface and Chrisean Rock story resurfaces, it rarely stays quiet for long. For years, their relationship has played out like a never-ending reality series. Every argument, every reconciliation, every unexpected twist somehow finds its way onto social media where millions of people watch the drama unfold like a live broadcast. And this moment was no different. Karlissa's comments didn't just spark conversations about family drama. They also reignited larger discussions about co-parenting, public relationships, and how celebrity families deal with personal conflicts while the entire world is watching. Supporters of Blueface continued arguing that fathers deserve the opportunity to be part of their child's life. They believed Karlissa's frustration sounded genuine and that her comments reflected a deeper family conflict that fans rarely get to see. On the other side, Chrisean supporters pushed back just as strongly. They argued that the internet has no idea what happens behind closed doors. From their perspective, parenting decisions are complicated and outsiders only see fragments of the story. Many of them insisted that it wasn't fair for the internet to treat the situation like entertainment. But social media doesn't slow down for nuance. Instead, the conversation continued spreading across platforms. Reaction channels kept discussing the drama, bloggers kept reposting clips, and comment sections kept filling with people explaining why they believed one side or the other. Meanwhile, something interesting began happening. The tone of the conversation slowly started shifting. At first, the internet had treated the situation like another chaotic celebrity headline. But as the debates continued, people started talking about bigger themes: family boundaries, parenting struggles, and the difficulty of navigating relationships in the public eye. In a strange way, the drama had turned into something more reflective. Some fans pointed out that celebrity families often face pressure that ordinary families never experience. Every disagreement becomes public. Every emotional moment becomes content. And millions of strangers suddenly feel entitled to judge situations they don't fully understand. Others argued that the constant online attention can make already complicated relationships even harder to manage. And when children become part of the situation, the stakes become even higher. Meanwhile, the internet kept watching closely for the next development. Because if there's one thing fans have learned from this saga, it's that silence rarely lasts long. Someone usually responds sooner or later, and when they do, the entire story shifts again. Many viewers began wondering whether Chrisean Rock would eventually address Karlissa's claims directly. Would she respond publicly and explain her side of the situation? Or would she choose to stay silent and avoid adding fuel to the already raging internet debate? Another question was floating around social media as well. Would Blueface speak up? Until that moment, much of the conversation had revolved around Karlissa's perspective and the internet's reaction to it. But the person at the center of the claim, Blueface himself, hadn't made any major public statement addressing the controversy. That silence made people even more curious, because when multiple people are involved in a complicated situation, the public usually wants to hear every perspective. Without that balance, speculation tends to fill the gaps, and speculation spreads fast. TikTok creators continued posting theory videos predicting how the situation might unfold next. Some believed a public response from Chrisean could calm the conversation and explain the situation more clearly. Others predicted the opposite. They believed that if the main figures involved started responding publicly, the entire situation might escalate into an even bigger internet storm. After all, history has shown that when members of this particular storyline start addressing each other directly, things rarely stay peaceful. But regardless of what happens next, one thing is already clear. Karlissa's comments reignited a conversation that the internet has been following for years. The Blueface Chrisean saga remains one of the most talked about celebrity stories online, and every new development seems to create another chapter in the timeline. For some fans, the story feels exhausting. For others, it remains endlessly fascinating. But beneath all the arguments, memes, and reaction videos lies a much more serious reality. This situation involves real people, real emotions, and a real child whose life will grow alongside these headlines. And that reality is what makes the story so complicated. Because, while the internet debates, analyzes, and speculates, the people involved are still living their lives in real time, which raises the biggest question of all. Will this situation eventually settle into peace behind the scenes? Or will the next chapter of the Blueface Chrisean saga bring even more unexpected twists to the timeline? And just like that, the internet has once again found itself deep inside another chapter of the Blueface Chrisean saga. One statement from Karlissa, a few reposted clips, and suddenly the entire timeline turned into a full-blown debate arena. Some people are defending Blueface, others are standing firmly with Chrisean. And the rest of the internet is watching the situation unfold like it's the latest episode of the most chaotic reality show ever created. Because let's be honest, when this story pops back up, the comment sections always explode. And now the big question is sitting right in front of all of us. What do you think about Karlissa speaking out? Do you believe she's simply defending her son and expressing a grandmother's frustration? Or do you think the internet might be missing important details about what's really happening behind the scenes? Should family situations like this stay private? Or is it inevitable that everything becomes public when celebrities live their lives online? Because if there's one thing we've learned from internet drama, it's that the comment section often becomes a whole second show of its own. Some of you bring the hottest takes, some of you bring the funniest reactions, and some of you drop theories that sound like full Netflix documentaries. So don't hold back. Jump down into the comments and tell us where you stand in this situation. Do you think Karlissa revealed something important? Or do you think the internet is blowing the story way out of proportion again? And before you leave, smash that like button like it owes you money. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next viral celebrity drama. And turn on those notifications because trust us, stories like this don't stay quiet for long. Stories like this don't stay quiet for long.